Hey guys, Erica here from Highway 49 RC. Hopefully you all are doing absolutely awesome today. If you guys are looking for friends online to chat with and hang out with in the RC hobby, come check out my Discord server. Links are in the description down below. We're always chit-chatting over there talking about this, that, and the other thing. So today is going to be a pretty cool video because A, we get to use my newly modified comm lathe that we just recently modified for 550 size armatures on a vintage motor. Yes, so I'm not sure if any of you were able to guess because I'm filming this in advance, but today I get to rebuild a Kyosho Le Mans 360 ST. This is a motor that was sent to me by a viewer from British Columbia, Canada, so very cool to get some support from other countries. I think that's awesome. The Le Mans was not the only motor that he sent me. He also sent me a vintage Trinity Speedworks 350 motor. This one is absolutely mint. It is brand new. It looks gorgeous, but we're not covering this one today. We're going to cover that in another video, so stay tuned to the channel. I'm really excited about this one. Really excited. But anyway, let's get back to the Le Mans. I'm really looking forward to rebuilding this one. He also sent me some Holmes Hobbies soft copper stand-up brushes to go along with it. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Alright guys, oh that's upside down. Alright guys, let's get our first look at this Kyosho Le Mans. This is my first Kyosho Le Mans that I have. Here she is. These motor cases are awesome. I wish I had them for all my motors. And here we go. First look. First impressions are not great. This thing is really dirty. There's a lot of corrosion on the end bell. The motor sticker's torn away in a couple places. Lots of gunk on the can. But to be honest, I'm okay with that. I'm looking forward to a dirtier rebuild because a lot of the motors we've been rebuilding recently have been really nice and clean. I'm looking forward to something that is going to actually have a lot more noticeable difference before and after. And for those curious, this is a 22-turn motor with 18.5 gauge wire. These Le Mans motors were not designed to be disassembled in the same way that our Trinity motors were. As you can see, there's no end bell screw, which would normally appear right over here on both sides. The end bell is actually held on with two little tabs that are bent inward into notches in the end bell. I've already bent them back out because I wasn't sure how difficult it was going to be to unbend them, but they're not really designed to be taken apart in the way that I'm going to be taking it apart today. However, if something is put together, it can most certainly be taken apart. I'm going to first unsolder the capacitors from the can here, just so I can get the end bell off, and then we'll come back and start disassembling. I hate when people put the leads through the holes. I know it makes it easier to solder, and I do it too, but man, what a pain. Back to the other workbench, we'll start taking this apart. Okay, for our reference, negative is on the sticker side, and we'll put red on our right, and we can start taking this apart. Start with our brush spring on both sides. And then pull our brushes out. Let's see how they look. Brushes, yeah, they're not too bad. I would deem them reusable, but for now we'll just put new ones on. Since I've already undone the little tabs, I should be able to pop the end bell off of this now. Yep, there she goes. There's our first look inside this motor. Wow, that is some thick wire. Yeah, that seems really thick to me. I don't know, I guess maybe that's just me, but that seems really thick. Super dirty in there. Look at all that crap. Now this thing did have a lot of end-to-end play, like this way, so I will be shimming this before I'm done with it. And there's our armature. I don't see any shims down there in the bottom. Oh, you know what, guys? This is interesting. Check this out. These are not bearings. These are actually bushings on the end bell and can. That's really interesting. You can see just how friggin' dirty that end bell is. You can see what I mean about all the corrosion on there. Gonna have to give this thing a good scrub for sure. Oh yeah, look at all that. thing's been well loved, very well loved. Inside the can is not terribly dirty from what I can see, but it's not really terribly important either. But that is cool. I've not rebuilt a motor yet that has bushings instead of bearings. Wow, lots of firsts today. Let's get the rest of the end bell apart here. Oh, wait, those are round. Those aren't... Oh. Okay, well that's new to me also. These are round spring posts, not hex, like the Trinities. Okay. I'll have to grab a pair of pliers for those then, or something. But Phillips I can deal with. Despite how much I hate Phillips I can deal with. Let me grab a pair of pliers or something and try and get those spring posts out. Ah, okay. Yeah, they do just unscrew fairly easily, so that's good. They're not too tight. I've made yet another interesting discovery. The spring posts here do not actually thread in. They are riveted, or, oh, I don't know what to call that, but they're like peened in. So they don't come out. Which is very interesting and kind of annoying because I would like to get the inside of the brush hoods cleaned up real nice, but I guess I'm not going to be able to do that. That's kind of a bummer, but interesting nonetheless. This has been very different from our normal Trinities so far. Since this is as far as the motor can be disassembled, I'm going to jump into cleaning this thing up. I'm probably going to take the end bell out to the garage and hit the brush hoods with my Dremel with a little wire brush, like a little wire wheel on it, which I've done before, and actually cleans them up really nice. So hopefully I can get in all the nooks and crannies with that. But let's start the cleaning montage. Alrighty, everything is cleaned up. And did I even clean the brush springs and screws? You bet your sweet bippy I did. I don't know what that means. I think it's funny, so sorry if I offended somebody. But the end bell, guys, look at how clean that looks. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, this is absolutely beautiful. The can, I got all the gunk off of it. You can't even tell it was there. I used my wire wheel to kind of polish this all up. I was really careful around the sticker so I didn't do any more damage to it than there already is. As I was cleaning the end bell, I decided to try a new technique. What I did was to get inside the brush hoods, because I wanted to get those clean, since that's the main electrical contact for the brushes, is the brush hood, not actually the shunt. I used these engine brushes, which are kind of like big, stiff pipe cleaners, and I was able to run them through the brush hoods, and it got them pretty darn clean. But I wanted something a little bit abrasive too, just to kind of polish it up, you know, and get any little bits of grit off. So I was kind of thinking like, well, okay, I could use like toothpastes or like wrap these in steel wool. And then I thought of this stuff, which is honing compound by a company called Tormek, which this is what we use for sharpening our woodworking chisels and our knives and stuff like that. This is like the final honing compound you use on a leather strop. And it actually worked really great. Just a couple little dabs on the brushes and ran them in and out a bunch. And that is what got the inside of the brush hoods nice and polished clean. So you guys know what's after cleaning, of course, right? It's comm time. Aw, yeah. Alrighty, time to use my freshly modified comm lathe for this 550 armature. If you want to see how I did it, link is up in that corner there. You can go check it out. Alright, let's get right into this. Get my drive belts on, if I can. Really tricky. Come on. There we go. Great. Put a couple of drops of oil on the shaft either side. And then back my tool off. I want to set my stops so that I don't go too far. Okay, right about there for that stop looks pretty good. And I got my marker ready to go. Okay, let's do this. Go. That looks great. I think I might need to get a new cutter because it's not leaving the best of surface finishes recently. Alrighty, there we go, guys. Lathe worked absolutely perfectly. Commutator is nice and clean. You can see some streaking on there. That's why I'm thinking I might need a new cutter, but I might have to do some experimenting and see. I've got my brushes and brush screws in the end bell now so that I can get the hoods nicely aligned. Since the spring posts don't tighten on their own, I don't know how much benefit aligning them in a motor like this will be, but I figure might as well do it while I'm here. It doesn't hurt, and it can potentially give better life to the motor. Hold that, give it a little wiggle and a jiggle. And that seems like it slides pretty smoothly. Snug up the brush screws. Ooh, that motor shaft slides so nice. That's awesome. That is a really nice alignment, actually. That's probably one of the best ones I've ever had, to be honest with you. It feels like it anyway. So now what I need to do is shim the armature. So I'm going to start by putting the shims that were on it back on. I need more shims on the end bell side. So let's see what we can do about adding one or two. I'm going to put them underneath the softer fiber washer. Not the big one, but this other smaller one right here. I'm going to put them underneath that because the bushings are probably brass or bronze of some sort, and obviously I don't want to hurt them. Okay, that's too tight. Okay, the one that I just put on is about half the thickness of the previous. It spins smoothly. I don't feel any movement in it though. I do want a little bit of movement, not much, but just enough so that it can kind of do its thing when it's spinning up. Ooh, okay, there we go. That is gorgeous. That's probably 3 thousandths, maybe 5 thousandths of movement. And like I'm squeezing the end bell onto the can like it's gonna be when we're done, and there's just a teeny tiny little bit of movement. Okay, that is perfect. That's absolutely perfect right there. Okay, so with the armature successfully shimmed very nicely, I can put my brushes back in. And the brushes slide very nice and smoothly in the end bell, which is perfect. When they were coming out, all the corrosion and stuff, they were very sticky. So they slide absolutely beautifully now, which is perfect. And all that's left for me to do now is crimp down these little tabs. I'll go out in the garage and give them a smack with a hammer, carefully, obviously, and then solder the leads back on, solder the capacitors back on, and give this thing a test. This thing's looking great so far. my soldering is done. Yes, I did solder both wires onto the same hood because I was so concerned about making them look nice. Oh boy. But I'm just gonna put a couple drops of oil on the bushings because obviously we don't want those to run dry. And of course, last but not least, we gotta give it a quick test. Ooh, yeah. It's torquey. Very nice. That runs super, super good. It really gives a little kick when I connect the lead. And there you go, guys. This motor turned out so gorgeous compared to when we started. All that gunk is off the can. All the corrosion is off of the end bell. The end bell just looks brand spanking new. Everything just looks so nice. I'm gonna do a nice break-in on this and it should be good to go. What a great rebuild, guys. This is probably one of my more favorite ones that I have done on the channel, mainly because of the transformation that this motor went through. From when we started, this thing was filthy, really just looked like crap, and now it looks phenomenal. So if you guys enjoyed this as much as I did and are excited about that Trinity Speedworks 350, make sure you leave a like, hit that subscribe button down below, leave a comment, and follow me on Instagram at highway49_RC. Join my Patreon to support the channel, and head over to my Discord if you're looking for some friends. Anyway, guys, I had such a great time with this. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one.